Welcome back then. Well, the markets are having a good rally in today's trading session. The Nifty is up close to under 100 points hot. But let's take a break from the equity markets and let's focus on the commodity space. Manisha Gupta joins us to tell us what's going on there. Manisha.
Plenty, Nigel, but we've been talking about a lot of non-agro space. Rural economy is one area that has received a lot of attention in the last few months. During the lockdown as well, this is one area that has continued to perform well. The monsoons as we stand right now until today is 5% above normal. And when you look at the Kharif sowing, that's 10% higher as compared to last year as well. So whether you look at oil seeds, which is up 15% in sense of sowing, or the rice sowing, which is the acreage has gone up by 17%. And a single to double digit gains is what we've seen in sense of sowing for cotton, for sugarcane, also for pulses, etc. Core cereals also have done well. So clearly, early arrival of monsoon has done its part. But when you look at the seed industry, well, that seems to be buzzing as well. We spoke to some FPOs and they told us that production of seeds seems to be more lucrative than the real crop itself, is the view that has been coming in from the farmers this time around. So when you look at India, the Indian seed industry is at 10,000 crores. But when you look at the global markets of $14 billion industry, Indian industry in that percentage is really small there. But to talk that and more, we are now joined by Mr. Ram Kaundinya. He is DG at Federation of Seed Institute of India. Raja, I thank you so much for your time. First of all, what has been the seed sales this time around? I mean, it has been a good monsoon, erratic, yes, but how has the seed industry really performed?
Yeah, hi. This is Ram, actually, not Raj. But the seed sales have been quite good. We faced some problems when the lockdown was started in March. And but the government came to our rescue. Government was very proactive, and then they made all the arrangements for free movement of essential commodities like seeds. So I think seed movement has been quite good. We have had good growth in some of the crops like rice. But we did have some fall in vegetables, for example, about 20% drop in vegetables, primarily because the farmers were worried about, movement of perishable commodities to the market and also the labor requirement for vegetables. But otherwise, rice was quite good. Corn was flat because of commodity prices. Cotton was fairly okay. We had marginal growth in cotton. Pulses was very good, actually. There is a good demand for pulse seed this year. So overall, seed industry has done well.
Mr. Kaundinya, first of all, apologies on the name part, but have you also seen the monsoon impact here as well? Because when we look at June, it was 16% above normal. July was 10% below normal. And then we've seen floods in northeast and some southern cities as well. And then you have deficiencies in central India, Gujarat, etc. So has this been a more state-wise report card?
Had floods in Assam, but Assam floods didn't cause too much of damage to the acreages, which matters to us. But Bihar floods have been quite, northern Bihar have had impact on crops. Gujarat floods also didn't cause too much damage because they were mostly on the coastal areas and didn't have too much of an impact on the crop acreages. But so far, I think crop damage has not been very significant, and many of them will recover. But I think we are more assessing the situation right now because the rains are still going on. It is still not over. So we are hoping that things will be back to normal in another 2 weeks' time.
Mr. Kaundinya, I also want to get onto the topic of the Agriculture Ministry coming out with a warning or a caution or how some seed packages were landing around in various farms. Have you assessed that situation? How do you see that?
Well, that is an alert given on the basis of some packets which were received in US and some other countries. Nothing has come to India so far. But, these kind of packets coming, I think it's good that ISTA has issued an alert and the Government of India has issued an alert. And all of us from our seed associations also have issued an alert. Primarily, those who receive seeds through couriers have to be more careful and not plant them. They should actually destroy seeds which are coming from outside unsolicited. Without order, if they're coming, people must destroy such seeds because they can spread diseases and weeds which could be damaging in the long run.
Mr. Kaundinya, I also want to know about the Indian seed exports. As we were talking, $14 billion of an industry is where the seed industry is, and Indian exports only stand at 1,000 crores. What is the work being done in that direction?
So we have had some discussions with the government. We have given some suggestions on making seed export-oriented policies. We have recommended that there should be an export promotion board. There should be some areas designated for this purpose. Because we do feel that a 10% share in the $14 billion export market is possible in the next 5-6 years' time. So we should touch around 10,000 crores without any difficulty, provided we have a strategic approach to this. We need many infrastructure facilities like, designated zones, dry ports. Then there is a plant quarantine and other facilities required at the airports and the ports for this purpose.
Yep.
PD clearance of some of the export applications.
Okay.
So some of those things we have made suggestions. Hopefully we should have a comprehensive policy in place for this very soon.
All right, we will wait for that. And in the meanwhile, a good year really for the seed industry. Mr. Kaundinya, thank you so much for joining us. Back to you, Nigel.
So much for that, Manisha. Well, on that note, though, we'll slip into a short break. On the other side, we'll discuss the Reserve Bank's new rules on current accounts with a whole host of guests. You stay with us. On the other side, it's coming up.